Alex94 wants to know if there's any chance of Ganodermics. It's a bit random, and I've seen a few people saying, no, don't do Ganodermics. Obviously, if we were going to, we'd poll it. The thing about those is we don't have the original model. We wouldn't be able to copy the original model because it used a lot of things like bloom and special texture effects to make it look kind of made out of mushroom. So we wouldn't be able to make it look too similar. We don't have an entire polypore dungeon full of spores and flakes to collect, so it wouldn't behave similarly. And it probably wouldn't pass a poll from some of the comments I've seen on this stream. So I wouldn't worry about Ganodermics just for the moment.
Jublex Inc. says, can you add EOC please? No.
Nope, go away.
Clue Scroll says, stealing creations. Sorry, Matt's making me laugh now. Stealing creation, that's been a very widely suggested minigame. We could, although there is a lot of concern about bonus XP. A lot of people are very against anything which gives you bonus XP, and that's effectively what stealing creation is, besides a free way of just griefing people in a PvP area. So I think stealing creation, I mean, it's something we can look at later in time anyway. Now I think we actually have something to show you in regards to the upcoming Wilderness poll and second dev blog. Some guy called he's actually on the stream right now, not even on the stream, he's actually in the audience right now, called RSN Eero suggested to me at one point that I should recolour the Tazar Spike Shield blue, just see what it would look like. And I did so, and I showed it off on Twitter. I also made a green version because I felt blue obviously represents mage, green represents range. And we've taken that idea and we've given it to you in the original dev block. Now in doing so, we've actually got them, I've already made them, already given them stats. John has spent quite a lot of time trying to balance them, make them the most balanced shield in RuneScape, I think he said. Or balanced thing in RuneScape, I think he said. So I think we're going to go over and we're going to show you what these shields look like. This is credit to Eero, he's the one that suggested them. And I just made it happen for him. So I think we're going to go and show them off for you. I think John will.
It would be great if they actually logged me in.
I'm putting money on, and I know everybody can hear us right now, I'm putting money on the world has gone down and we have to get the world back again.
Would make sense.
Don't click anything.
Do you know the link for the rental page?
One sec, sorry guys, one sec. Okay, now Ash has...
Can you hear me now?
I think they can, yeah.
So,
Start again.
Okay, well, let's start again. these shields were based off of the Tazar shield, which is what I'm wielding now, and these are its stats, which won't change with this update at all. And to try and balance the new ones, I gathered some feedback from the forums on Twitter and basically just threw the numbers around for consistency and adjusted them as per your requests. These are the range shield stats. Fairly straightforward. The only major change in any direction is the magic defense, which has got a plus 17 boost on the maximum currently. Fairly straightforward. They will, to make sure they're not too overpowered, they will carry negative bonuses in attack. And there's the magic shield. And that's pretty much the shields. Don't think we have anything else to show off, do we?
Yeah. No, we're not. In the stream, though, I do have my recoloured fire capes if people are so inclined.
Yeah, jump in.
I think someone mentioned this earlier, and while we're in the right stream, because obviously we have different test streams which show different things. Not everything that we've developed is actually in this particular world. It could be in another world. So while we're here, we might as well show things off. So obviously, like I mentioned earlier, just to see if it was possible, we messed around with the idea of additional coloured fire capes. So we got a purple fire cape, we have a blue, and I can't spell at all. We have a blue one, which at the moment doesn't animate. I think I broke that one. Now these aren't definitely coming out by any means. This is just something I thought was impossible, so I thought I'd give it a go and try and make it possible. If people have any real desire to see them, then they can let us know. I think I did have an idea for making elemental capes, although they would still be technically lava, which is fire, despite it being green. So I did actually make a few more. I think I made a red one. I made a black one as well, actually.
White, I think.
The white one doesn't look very nice. I think the red one, pretty self-explanatory. Black one. I don't think I actually made any others. I know I did. I can't remember what they were though. But yeah, these are the other things that we've done. Obviously, if there was to be an extension to the Tazar fight pits, fight caves, sorry, even with a kiln style update, we can look at possibly doing these, and maybe something else. We can have an entirely new cape for you. Even we could even have a new animation with a new texture. So this is the shields. We're going to be working on these, as well as the Slayer Cave and Slayer Dungeon, as well as anything you vote for in the upcoming Wilderness poll and dev block. I believe. Actually, probably if you noticed already, I'm actually rotating the camera with the middle mouse button, as somebody just pointed out. This feature is actually enabled for JMods only right now. So, yeah, I think we should move back to the normal stream.
Who wants to?
Hi again. So, while you're talking, I wrote down lots of questions that we didn't answer.
Awesome.
I haven't got any names, but at least I got the questions. So hopefully you get your answers questioned or questions answered. Reddit AMA was the first thing I wrote down, which Dan's already covered. Yes, we will eventually.
Sound.
Sound. Are we good with sound?
Hmm.
Yeah. Red Dragon drop table update. One of the things we mentioned in the recent poll was updating the Red Dragon drop table. Now someone came up with a great idea and said, hey, why don't you just change them and put in lava dragons, give them better bones, give them some decent drops, and we think that's a great idea. So you will see that in the dev blog tomorrow. Potion flasks. Any opinions on potion flasks, guys?
We could do them
We certainly could.
if you want them. Sure.
Yep.
There we are.
I'm up for
Nice
any
and easy.
crafting stuff. Herb law stuff sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that's cool. There we go. Easy peasy. Improve the weight of Grace's boots. I think the reason they're what they are is because they're not better than the boots of lightness, which we didn't want to devalue at all by putting in the other things. So that's why they're there where they are. What else we got? Anchovy pizzas. Somebody wants to buy anchovy. They're there. Anchovy pizzas.
Well, they can buy me one.
Yeah, I'll
so
take one as well.
I don't
actually.
like fish, so I'll have it without the anchovies. With meat, chicken pizza will do me. Anyway, I'm assuming that's for PvP, and we did think. I mean, I was thinking, because I've had a few requests for anchovy pizzas, and I was thinking during the Wilderness update, can we get them in somewhere, particularly around the bandit camp? Seems like a good place to do them. Possibly. I don't know how much people would use them. Really. What else we got? Oh, a nice interesting one for you, Ash. Private messages last longer in busy areas.
What's going on there is the game client remembers the last 100 messages. That could be private messages, public messages, game messages, clan chat messages. They're all stuck in the same piece of memory. So if you're in a busy area, there's lots of public coming in, and the private messages just go off the top too quickly. We can change that if we can get the engine team to rewrite how the game client stores all the messages. They've done it for RS3. They should, in theory, be able to do it for us as well, but that might be a big ask. I don't know how quickly we'd be able to get it from them. But yeah, that would be a useful feature. There's also a few other things I'd like to change about those messages. In particular, if we can get more message types from them, then we'd be able to do a game message spam filter and filter out some of the more spammy training messages, like you swing your axe at the tree, you swing your axe at the tree, that kind of thing. We might be able to get rid of those if we can get the engine guys onto more chat filter type stuff for us.
Cool, what else we got here? We have add in XP drops. Now that specifically relates, I think, to features from Orion that you want to see in game. The features that you want, I assume we can do the majority of them. It's just whether you guys want them or not. That's the thing.
There's been a lot of requests for XP counters to be coming down the screen. RS3's had it for a while, and well, we'd be willing to do it. It's not a small job. I'm taking the view at the moment that while we're willing to do it in principle, I'd like to wait till the wilderness stuff is at least underway, because taking on that big job and the wilderness stuff might mean that you end up waiting months and months and months for anything to come out. So not just now, but we do know you want it.
Okay. Wilderness poll when, I've written down. Wilderness poll devlog's out tomorrow to give you the questions. We'll hopefully poll the questions middle of next week, which gives you about 5 days to sort of get your feedback on the questions. If you think the questions are wrong, you tell us. We will make the questions what you want them to be, because we want them to work. So that is cool. And rotate camera middle mouse button, which I think is also going to be in the dev blog tomorrow. So more news on that.
Not sure about that
Isn't
one.
it? Oh, isn't it? Okay. I thought
We'll see what we can do based on what's available to us at the time.
Okay, that's cool. I thought it was. Never
Yes.
mind.
Okay.
I'm aware that we polled the ability to rotate the camera with the middle mouse button before. However, at the time, I'm not sure whether we offered a toggle for it, and some people said they wouldn't want it without one. Also, there was a lot of people saying that they voted no because they thought that, you know, if we had the middle mouse button thing, we'd take away the arrow keys and you wouldn't be able to control it with the arrow keys anymore. Now, we're not going to do that. In fact, the engine doesn't support us doing that. So that's not something you need to worry about. And with that clarified, maybe the poll will come out different this time.
Yes, yeah.
Someone saying, how you doing in the middle reading the chat? What's up? I'm good. How are you?
You're right, you do look very angry.
It's not my fault.
He's just got one of those faces.
I'm done.
Why Boss wants a Dragon Spade and Clan Wars? Well, I'd like to do Clan Wars. In fact, there's a lot of you who would like Clan Wars. I think King Doopy wants Clan Wars. Yeah. Yeah, we'd like to do Clan Wars.
I'll take his place.
And if we can get the chat channel system upgraded so that we can tie the teams to the chat channels like we did back in 07, that's where I did it before, then we could give you the challenged battles, etc. If we're going to do Clan Wars, we can try and recreate a lot of the terrains like we had before. It won't be exactly the same, but frankly, Plateau's a great big empty expanse, like Driftiness. So yeah, we can make you one of those. And turrets, we can map turrets. In fact, every time we do an arena, it's got turrets in it, whether it's the Goblin Temple or the Clan Cup arena. So yeah, we can try and recreate things like what you had before, and maybe take in a few new ones. In fact, we could let you send in maps yourselves and make things from your designs.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'd rather do that. In fact, it's more interesting than coming up with new things myself.
Arsenera says, are you able to make the Ferret of Doom a proper boss? Now, for those people who don't know, the Ferret of Doom is the highest level monster in RuneScape ever, I believe. It's like level 9001 ferret from Dungeoneering, I believe. No, that's skill.
It's
Dungeoneering is a skill. skill. We don't have that dungeoneering skill in old school, but we do have ferrets. So I guess we could make a ferret of Doom boss, or just re-immortalise the ferret of Doom in old school if you really want one.
It can go down with that down cow thing that keeps turning up.
Yeah.
So, Dragon Dart special. Well, if we thought there was a lot of demand for it, we could have a go. Annoyed 3D wants to know about the swag bag we said in DevBlog. We've got a better name for it now, I
Yes,
think.
yeah.
Better name.
During the dev blog, we did ask you what you want to call it because we weren't overly excited about it, but it did describe it quite well. Not that many suggestions came through, so we're going to call it the looting bag because that's effectively what it is.
This is a better name, apparently.
Yeah, we could change it at any time. So if somebody was to come along and say, call it this, and we think it's brilliant, we can change that. We're not proud of the name, so if you guys want to call it something else, feel free. Just let us know. But the bag, effectively, you will be able to kill monsters in the wilderness. Chance of this bag dropping, you pick up this bag, and you can put up to 28 items into this bag, and it'll behave like your inventory. So if you've got noted items, they will obviously stack. You can't take anything out until you take it to a bank. You take it to a bank, and the bank man will go, right, thanks very much, I'll have the bag. They'll take the bag, and they'll take the items out, put the items in your bank, throw the bag in the bin, and you have to go out and get another bag, and then carry on using it. The whole idea is if you're in the wilderness PKing, you've got all your PKing supplies with you. You don't want to drop all your food to pick up some loot from a skiller you found out there, or some extra food. But if you've got this bag taking up just one inventory space, you can just fill it up with stuff, and then go back to the bank and stick it all in your bank. So it actually makes it a bit more profitable, which is one of the good things of PvP. Some interesting suggestions of the name coming through.
Sir Knight wants us to add the rest button for running, or wants to know if we will. Now, running the rest button's been a controversial topic since we launched. There's been a lot of people saying they want it, a lot of people saying they don't want it. I appreciate it does devalue energy potions a little bit. Perhaps it would not go down well with the herb lore community. We don't actually have the animations for sitting down like we had before. We can reuse some animations from elsewhere, or maybe get our new artist onto the job. Hopefully he'll be up for that. It might be a bit of a challenge for him because the render order works very differently to how it did in 09 when we had him before. But we could probably find something if we thought you guys wanted it. So the question really would be whether you guys want us to poll resting. It's not a huge job. I'm pretty sure we could do it now. But what do you think?
Yeah. Someone's asking about quests. He wants more quests in 07.
I would love more quests in 07. I know Ash does as well.
Yep,
so
and
John,
so does
actually.
John, yeah.
There's when we did the About You poll, quests weren't the highest thing on your priority, which is why we haven't given much time to them. But I think Ash said earlier on today, actually, coming to the first year, and with the plan for the rest of the year, we can't really go 2 years really without doing any quests. So I've got a lot of quests. I would love to write a quest. Some of my favourite pieces of content I've ever worked on in Jagex has been quests. So
we've got 2 quests that we can dig out of the archive that were being developed in August 2007. We've got Path of Gluffrey, which would give you the quest, and also it would give you Warped Terror Birds, Warped Tortoises, all those tar drops someone was talking about earlier. We've also got Land of the Goblins. I can't remember what that gives you. A headache, possibly, when you go to
the ability to turn into a goblin and have Matt's avatar.
Yes.
Right.
That should be end game content.
Yeah.
Right there.
So we've got those. And I think between them, that should give you another 4 quest points at least, which would mean you'd be able to unlock a 5th Slayer slot for blocking tasks you don't like. So, yeah, we could do quests like that. Alternatively, Dan and I and John would be very happy to write a quest that you guys have designed, or maybe write a quest of our own and pitch it to you so that you don't have all the spoilers out there on the dev blog when we first talk about it, which I think would be a bit of a shame for a quest. But apart from the quest, it's a question of what it should give you as a reward. We're always up for reward ideas. So, yeah, let us know what you'd like in that regard.
Yeah, I think should the elf place ever come back, I think we can't really open it without a quest, really, can we?
No way.
Yeah, so I think those 2 things are very much interlinked.
Well, we could
going
open it and
forward.
just say it's kind of it's empty. What did you expect there to be in there?
Yes, they've all moved out.
Maybe just a cow.
Yeah, due to the recession, no one's been able to build anything.
Question I saw earlier from a player with the delightful name of King Butthole the First. Wants to know if we can have bonds that you buy with old school currency. Now, is that something you guys would like? When we first got bonds in the other RuneScape, there was a lot of people saying they didn't want the bonds to come to old school as well. If you're starting to change your mind, we'd, well, do let us know, and we'll talk to the engine guys and the web guys and the billing guys to see if they can get it done for you. I'd been kind of assuming you didn't want it so far, but if you change your mind, do say.
One of the biggest things I see people saying right now is the untrimmed versions of skill capes. That seems to be spammed quite a lot right now.
It's not. No. Free to play is spammed a lot right now.
Yeah.
And rotten potatoes.
Yeah.
I'd love to release the untrimmed versions of existing skill capes. There's no reason why people shouldn't have the untrimmed version of a skill cape they had previously. Just because they got another 99 doesn't mean they should be bound to having a trimmed version forever. We can look at that in future.
Yeah.
So do you want to answer the free-to-play question going up then?
I suppose better answer that one. I
Before
mean,
you all fall over or something.
I think I saw somebody ask it.
I think one or two, maybe.
Yeah. Free to play. Okay, so
What's that it means?
yeah. Well, what does F to P? No. So what happens if free to play comes out? Free to play comes out. Anyone access to the game is much easier, which means we're going to see more bots. We're going to see more hijacking of accounts. We're going to see more bad behaviour. We're going to see more scamming. Everything else that goes with it. So we're going to see a lot of bad things increase in the game. We're not in a position to protect you guys from it. I mean, until we've got on top of the bots, we certainly don't want to even think about free to play because the increase in bots will stop you guys enjoying it. Also, the hijacking, so we want to make sure that we can actually protect you against the hijacking, as well as all some of the other stuff as well. We need to make sure we've got all the right processes in place before we can do that, because we have a responsibility to look after all of our players, and we need to make sure the game stays what it should be. At the moment, so I saw somebody say we need free to play. We don't need free to play right now. The game is incredibly healthy. Membership is increasing. The community is getting bigger, so the game is growing. So it's not a case of we do it in the next week or the game dies. We're nowhere near that whatsoever. But at the moment, we just can't make the game safe enough, or unable right now to make the game safe enough to offer it. When we can, then we will talk about that more closer to that time. But at the moment, it's not on the cards, I'm afraid. It's stopped spamming now, which is quite nice. So.
Pure Skiller and a couple of others were asking whether we could have Jag. Now, we've asked the engine team whether they could do Jag for us, and the answer is they're not likely to be able to give us Jag in the immediate future, but they know we want it, they know you want it, and we're going to keep asking until we've got some kind of account security improvement. In the meantime, try and keep your computers safe.
Absolutely.
So,
We've got so many bots, so there's not a huge amount, so I was going to make a mention about bots. We had a meeting, was it last week, wasn't it?
Last Thursday.
Yeah, last Thursday, a week ago, with the anti-bot team. We have got some very good ideas how we're going to deal with it. We've got the engine team making some strides towards that. Need to get everybody sort of on the same lines, make sure we get some testing done first before we can really say what we're doing. But when we're ready to tell you what our solutions are for bots, we will. We're not going to sort of hide and be secretive about it. We're going to let you know what we're doing. We might not be able to give you the exact details of it, but you will be aware of what's going on. But it is a big priority for us. We know it is because it's a big priority for you, so it's at the top of the list for us, along with other content and stuff that we're doing. So we will talk to you more about it when we can. Don't think we're ignoring it. We ban thousands every day, so we're on top of it. But we know something bigger has to be done, and we're working towards that. And we'll tell you when we can.
Go ahead.
Snoozle had a question about whether the Bounty Hunter creators, if we did them, would have the same combat restrictions as before. Now, there's a lot of restrictions we wouldn't have to think about if we do a Bounty Hunter game in future. Bear in mind that in 2007, 2008, Jagex was having to prevent unbalanced trades across the whole of RuneScape as an anti-real world trading measure. We don't have that, we don't want that. So there's a lot of restrictions about what you could take in there, what you could do in there, that we wouldn't need to use if we wrote a similar minigame in future. Although I think Dan's better placed to talk about what kind of rules he might like to implement.
That's for later design stuff. I need to talk to Mod Oliver with that. I got it right this time. Mod Oliver about that, because he and I are the ones that are designing that. Robin Hood 07 says, will the kill death ratio that Matt is going to elaborate on more in a dev blog soon, and that was tweeted out from the official RuneScape, Old School RuneScape Twitter, have a high scores? That would need work from the web team. That's something that John has taken upon himself to chase up for us, which is lovely. We then also need the ability to then talk to that website in order to output kill death ratio. Problem with kill death ratio is we have to think of ways of preventing people from boosting it and getting themselves to the top. Because obviously there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people who play competitive games where kill death ratio is something that you pride yourself in. You often find there are people who boost it and you don't like that. So we're going to try and do our best for things like that. And as John's just highlighted a question on stream right now, actually, saying +1 to more bank space. With all the items we're giving you very soon, I think more bank space is definitely something we should probably give you. So I think we could sneak that into the next poll.
I haven't got a problem with
Yeah.
that. Next
We'll have to see whether increasing the number of bank slots causes problems for the code that's shuffling items around when you rearrange. It's not built into the engine anymore, and hasn't been for some months. But apart from that, shouldn't be no trouble.
There you go then.
Okay, what we got going on here? I can't see any questions.
I think it was Lord Dr. One was asking whether we could have the Wild Gothic Sleeps quest. We wouldn't be able to copy the quest exactly as it was before,
And I wouldn't want to.
and we wouldn't necessarily want some of that code. There's more efficient ways that things like that could be written. Also, I'm not sure you'd thank us for having the Dragon Claws.
Yes, I'd like to do Tormented Demons. I mean, for a long time I thought they were one of the best looking NPCs RuneScape had.
And a Dragon Plate that doesn't spin on a stick.
Yes. Although Dragon Claws, I feel, is... well, obviously you know where I stand on Dragon Claws.
Yes, you jump up and down on Dragon Claws.
Yes. But as a quest, Wild Gothic Sleep was a fantastic quest, and we want to do more quests, so...
Yeah,
I
and
think we
proper
actually
epic
have
things.
time for maybe...
Cool.
few
Well, I
more.
think we're coming to the end. Not getting too many new questions. Thanks very much, everyone. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, everyone, for coming. It has been great. We've enjoyed it. Hope you found some of it useful. And same time, same place, next week. See you then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Just say initialising stream. Yes, brilliant. Sweet. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hopefully, you can hear us, and we will do the normal first thing we always do, which is to wait until you can say you can hear us, so that we know you are hearing us.
So, can you hear us? Can you even see us?
Fingers
There
crossed.
hasn't been a spam of, oh, it's live yet.
Oh, that's a few seconds behind. So while they're talking about that, you guys had a nice week.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah.
Ah, they can see us.
Yes, that was Howson. Hey, Howson. Who else we got here? We got Revealed. We got Emily. We got Ul Dotton.
And thanks, Adamus. Glad to know you can hear us.
Fantastic. Oh, that's brilliant. This is all working well. That's what we like to see. Beautiful. So, you know the deal. You ask us questions, we'll answer the questions. I think we've got something to show later on, haven't we?
Yes, we do. I
Yes,
finished it.
Marvellous.
We've got a few bits to show later on, and jobs are good. So, John C. not got his makeup on yet. No, I'm sure we'll drag him over here. He's sitting pressing the buttons to make it go. I'm sure we'll...
Hello.
Here he is. I'm sure he will be joining us in a bit.
Given him a very important job to do.
Yes, exactly.
Just sit still and be quiet.
Yes. So what we've got to say, we had an interview today with a new artist. I think that's quite exciting news, and so wait and see what goes from there. So it'd be great to get a new artist, and we can make lots of new stuff for you guys if you want it, of course. Yeah, there we go. We've got a question here. Let's have a look. Dragon pickaxe poll. Any idea how long it will take should the dragon pickaxe come in game? That's by Lost Magic.
Okay, the Dragon Pickaxe will be a fair bit of work to do. You see, while it might be nice if all mining features in RuneScape used some nice central piece of code and they all could work off the same pickaxe checker, unfortunately I did that in 2008, and in 2007 we are still stuck with the old one where I'm going to have to plug in the pickaxe manually in every piece of code that uses pickaxes. So that's not just the usual rocks for mining, or the granite and the sandstone. I'm going to have to go to all the places where you mine an obstacle, like in Heroes Quest, to get into the Ice Queen's lair, and all the awkward places like that. It's going to take a little while. I know how to do it, I think, because I did it before, but might take a few days there. Also, we're going to need to get a nice model. I've had people tweeting me saying that they don't want to just take the old rune and bronze model and make it red and call that the dragon pickaxe. You'd like something a bit more special. Also, we'd had an idea for the special attack. It being a dragon weapon, it ought to have one. On the other hand, dragon pickaxes and hatchets are not really intended for combat. I mean, you can use them for combat, but they're not going to be great combat weapons ever. So what we thought we could do is give it a special attack, a bit like the rampage thing on the battle axe, where you activate it and it gives you a temporary mining stat boost, and maybe anything else as well it might give you, so that you'd fire it off when the rock respawns, and then you've got a higher mining level for a bit, so you can hopefully mine more effectively.
Also coming to help with the Runite Golems as well, which we'll be looking at, for those who don't know, the Wilderness update, we want to put Runite Golems in where you kill them, they then drop a Runite rock that's then mined. And the Runite Golems will take into account your mining level when they're attacking you, so the higher your mining level, the more impact you're going to have on them. So that'll help for that as well, which is all quite cool. There we go.
I'm really quite excited about this, even if it is going to be boring programming the pickaxe.
Questions about NMZ. It's Henners says, when will NMZ be nerfed? What we're doing at the moment, I think I posted this on the forums earlier, we're going to get some proper information, which we need your guys' help with. We're going to get some proper XP rates of what you guys are getting during the different things, what XP rates you're getting from elsewhere, and then we can give you the information, say that this is what the deal is, this is how balanced or unbalanced it is. We don't know the answer yet. What do you guys want to do? And then we'll poll whatever you guys want to do. Probably tie it in with a few other things for NMZ that we want to do, which make it a bit more exciting, a bit even more fun to play, I think.
We've had a suggestion sent in about how we could add a menu so that rather than the game giving you all the bosses that you've unlocked, it could give you a menu of all the bosses you've unlocked and let you choose which ones you want, so that if you just want a small rumble, you could choose to have one. Small rumble. Now, that's a fairly controversial idea, but I imagine we could do it if we tried hard enough, and if it were popular, we might be willing to do it. So send us any other ideas you'd like to expand Nightmare Zone, maybe new rewards, maybe that cow mask again, because we've still got it.
We'll get it out one day.
And you know, when we've got an artist, we might be able to give you the rest of the cow costume. Anyway, so we'd like to do more with Nightmare Zone in future.
Cool. GE. When will GE be re-added? Now, those who read the dev blog we did beginning of last week about what's going to happen the next 6 months, we did say that trading needed to be looked at. The answer to that isn't necessarily the GE. A lot of people, in fact, I think I put it in the dev blog itself, you immediately start thinking about the GE, but we don't have to deliver it as it was delivered first time round. We can make any changes we like. We can even ignore it altogether and do something completely different. So although you might not ever get a GE as you expect it to be in the game, there is a solution that's needed for trading, and you guys need to help us find what the right solution is for you. I mean, we've had loads of ideas spanning from putting the GE in to doing an auction house without all the price checking, to making a whole player-owned shops, which sounds fantastic, but it's not a small job by any stretch of the imagination. Trading islands, trading worlds, all sorts of things. We've had ideas. There's 101 solutions. Even being able to search people's offers and putting them in touch, so you have to physically go to somebody and trade with them to trade your items over, so that you don't lose that aspect of it. So 101's ideas, it's what you guys want really, which is what's important there. So that's what you got to tell us.
I see a question for Dan here. When will we add the recoloured fire capes?
Those are just more of a challenge to prove it was actually possible. Since we were told, no, that's not possible, then we found out, wait, what if we did this? And after much umming and erring, playing around with how tools worked, repacking where tools got their information from, and then redoing it over and over and over again every time we wanted to add a new colour, we finally managed to get the capes working. Now the capes, if you haven't seen them, I did post them on the 2007 Scape Reddit, they're also on my Twitter. They are just some colours that I thought would look good as a recoloured fire cape. We have no real immediate plans to add them. They are just something that we thought we'd try and do, although if you can suggest a way of putting them into the game, we'd like to hear about it. We could obviously use it for extending the fight caves. A lot of people have expressed interest in perhaps a kiln style extension. We can definitely do something like that. It wouldn't be out of the realm to do something like that. We could add fire capes, or even an option to recolour fire capes at the end of something like such as that. But we have no immediate plans to put them in the game. if you can think of a way of wanting them, or if you even do want them, do let us know, and we can definitely explore the idea.
Cool. I'm going to go change the title because it still says Hattie and Skull. And,
Cool.
and I'm not Hattie. I don't know if either of you two are Skull.
No.
Back in a sec.
Is John going to steal his seat? That's the question. Because I've seen a few who are asking whether John's been fired or something. He is in fact here. He's been sitting there right behind you, behind the camera for the last few minutes. Proof.
PVM Danny says when it's declaws, or when it's claws, didn't necessarily say declaws. I can't actually see it anymore because Matt has scrolled up. When his claws / court beasts coming out, Matt has scrolled up again. Claws, if you're referring to dragon claws, I wouldn't hold your breath. Are in that one there. Corporal Beast, soon after the live stream last week, actually, I quickly went and coloured Jad in beige.
It was
now,
awful.
I did post this on Twitter, just for a laugh, really, just to show what a beige Jad would look like. And weirdly enough, the reaction was very positive, and everybody was very much in the everybody's very accepting of a beige Jad as a Corporal Beast. Now, if we were to release a Corporal Beast, I wouldn't want it to be a beige Jad because that's just not acceptable, really. As Matt said, we have interviewed a graphics artist today, and you know, if things proceed positively, we can possibly look at getting the graphics artist to even model a new Corporal Beast for us. But I'm definitely big on new sort of boss monster in RuneScape. Obviously, you've seen me concepting something like a white dragon in the past. It's not out of the realms of going towards a Corporal Beast.
I did see a question asking to add the Slayer log to the Slayer helm. Could we do that?
Well, we could. It's a little bit reamed with options sometimes, but we might be able to... If we can find a space to stick it, we can do so.
Fair enough.
Arsenero says, are you able to pop up where it says, are you... And I can't read the rest of it. Would Matt like to scroll side this way? Are you sure you wish to leave this page? Because I keep accidentally clicking on the main menu.
Job for the web team, I'm thinking.
Yes.
We'll ask whether they can do it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have that problem with the client as well, where they accidentally click X and the client just shuts instead of saying, are you sure? I guess that would be a good idea because that would be very frustrating. Especially when you push backspace, that's very annoying as well, occasionally. So yeah, you can ask the web team for that.
So let's see. Scored 3 says, please no claws or corp. Anything we did in this line would be polled, so it wouldn't pass unless 75% of you said you wanted it.
Snap Extra says, any chance of doing anything with Prefidinus? Yes.
Wow.
I would love to do something with Prefidinus. I would love to open the Elf City. I would love... At the moment, it's just a very hilly, green area. There's nothing in it for those people that are so desperate to see on there. There's a few bunnies in there and a torch or two, but it's just a flat green land. I would love to do something with Prefidinus.
We're going to have to find a new testing ground when we've got something in your flat green land.
I do frequently test inside Prefidinus because it's a contained area and it's in some areas completely flat, so you can get a good screenshot, I guess, of things we're trying to show off.
Now, Korobiniki, I think it's pronounced, wants to know about achievement diaries and the Explorer Ring. We would like to do achievement diaries. In fact, I think that's a very likely update for the coming polls. We're not going to put them in the next one, of course. We've got a fair bit of wilderness stuff we want to do in that, and that's going to keep us busy for a fair while. But we know there's a lot of people want achievement diaries. They're not too hard to write. I think John's quite keen to try and write some.
Definitely.
Yep, and we're all up in favour of QA testers taking up content jobs. In fact, that's how we get a sofa that doesn't fit the team anymore. Yeah, achievement diaries, we definitely want to do some of that. We're also up for doing reward items. Could be similar to what you had before. Could be we come up with something different if you've got something else in mind. I mean, Enhanced Excalibur, I'm sure you'll be wanting again. But if you wanted the kit, you know, the reward items to maybe look better when worn together, rather than having the green gloves, the Baroque horrible top, and the dark grey cape on your back, we could try and make you something that actually fits and performs an achievement set. Or we could use it to unlock the trimmed quest cape if that were popular. I've seen it suggested quite a few times, even if I'm not sure why there's a connection. So yeah, we want to do achievement diaries.
Blue Shadow Man and Oliver RS both said a very similar question, which was, are we getting HD graphics or are we improving our graphics? I'd like to nip it in the bud very quickly that getting a graphics artist does not mean we'll be updating graphics. It means he'll just be creating new ones for us so that you don't have to continuously and forever put up with us just recoloring things. such as the dragon pickaxe that Ash pointed out earlier. I mean, instead of just recoloring a bronze or any other colour pickaxe to be red, which would look rather horrible really, he can create a new model. It doesn't have to be in HD, doesn't have to be incredibly detailed, because no matter how much detail you put into it, the moment you put it into the game, it will look rather boxy. So no, we have no plans to, or in fact we can't give you HD graphics, and we have no plans to make full screen either. Getting a new graphics artist simply means we can create new models, not update them.
Yes. Doing the HD update back in 2008, we'd got the entire graphics team on it. I think we'd even got some external staff from an agency doing modelling for us. We'd got almost the whole content team helping implement these things. We'd got the whole QA team help trying to retest the entire game, and even then there was a lot of stuff that went through. And we'd got 4 engine developers working on it. We've got, well, what you see here plus Matt, and even though we're getting some help from the engine team these days, it's still a very far cry from being able to recreate all that work that made the HD update. Meanwhile, McLovin201, I think the name was, and Swedish Badass were asking whether we could have cursors. The answer is yes, we can indeed give you alternative prayer books, as many as you like really, there's no limit, and we could give you the cursors. We might not be able to recreate the exact graphics they used before, but the 2D sprites on the interface we can have, and most of the stuff in-game our new artists might be able to create similar to how it was before. So yeah, we could do cursors, and you guys could work out how you'd like them unlocked, or whether you want them available to everybody with no requirements, although I think that might be a bit sad.
CF won't stop me, says, question, can we have bank tabs in 07? I actually went into my test stream today to find out Ash had done some more work on his attempted version of bank tabs, and they're looking pretty good actually. It functions.
Thanks. I've written quite a lot of the client side of it, and I'm going to try and find myself some spare time one evening to put together some more of the server side of it. If it's possible, then we'll give bank tabs. If we find that we run into an obstacle that means we need help from the engine team, we'll put that on their queue, and hopefully they'll be able to give us that support as well. It used engine features that were created specifically for it in the other RuneScape. We need to ask for that again if we can't do it without.
DFQQQ, I think it was asking for more rewards from the Graceful Token Shop, and I'd love to add some stuff to it. Just let us know what you want.
Speaking of agility things, a lot of people have asked about what happens when your weight is negative, and whether that makes your run energy drain more slowly or recharge more quickly than if you've got a weight of 0. The answer is it makes no difference. At the moment, the game engine is treating people with negative weight about the same as people with 0 weight, so there's no advantage there at the moment. However, I think we can now change that if it were a popular thing to do, and maybe we could let you buy that kind of ability with your Marks of Grace, or other agility related things, or just more cosmetic rewards. Got the cow mask.
Red pirate hat.
Yep.
Blue pirate hat.
Raj is _ not saying the second part of his name. Says slay level required for second new Slayer monster. Now we're actually talking today about what we wanted the second new Slayer monster to be. We showed off the cave krakens last week, and not out the possibility of us showing them off again today. We haven't really nailed down what we want the second one to be yet, or what model to base it on, or even what we, if we went ahead and tried to make a new one, what it would be. So I think we talked about warped terrorbirds and warped tortoises and something along those lines, but if anybody has any ideas, we'd certainly love to hear them.
Yes. As for the level, it would be nice to extend the Slayer skill properly into the 90s. There's a lot of space up there without very much to unlock, so I'd like to see us go further in that direction. Okay.
Is there going to be a poll about bounty hunter craters?
Oh, you like that one?
Yes. Yes and no. The no being not because we're not going to poll it. The no being we're actually going to suggest something as an alternative to bounty hunter. Otherwise, the yes being yes, we will just give you standard bounty hunter. Although it won't take up 40% of the wilderness like it did originally, because that would be ridiculous.
Yes. Equally, if we ever get to do clan wars, and I think we will in the coming months, we're not going to dig up a huge chunk of wilderness to put clan wars there. We're going to put it somewhere else and access it somewhere else, it's not going to take out large chunks of the wilderness like it did before.
Question for Matt, actually, because this gets brought up in every live stream, and Matt always says, "Oh, we will," and it hasn't been done yet. And Matt's actually just written it down, but I'm going to say it anyway. AMA on Reddit, Matt?
Yeah, we will.
We will.
He
So
says yes.
Come next week, we'll be saying the same thing all over again, much like we do with the sound. But Matt's written it down this time, so
Yeah, it's been very busy doing the wilderness stuff. So
yeah, that's actually true. Matt's been very, very busy writing up the second revision of the Wilderness blog, which you shall see very soon.
Saintsy was telling me to look happy. I promise I'm fine. It's just got two really bright lights that you can't see glaring at me.
So, Stevie5646 wants to know if there's ever going to be a black party hat. I'm pretty sure we've got one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
no.
launched.
I remember making one.
We'd know about that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I don't remember dreaming of making one.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we launched something along with the rainbow one.
The one Jebrim says, "Can we all have skills max at level 120?"
I'm going to say no.
That's a rather a controversial change, and I don't think there'll be a lot of people who will be supportive of that change.
So, Love of God asks a very good question: why are we looking to change trade? Now, old school trade is a perfectly good thing, and it's got players coming together to do the trading, which is a nice thing in an online multiplayer game. However, finding someone to trade with is difficult at the moment, especially with all the chat spam. We haven't given you a nice way of finding other people to trade with, and just at the moment there isn't anything we could easily do that would help there. However, in future, with more engines team support, if we could come up with something that would help you find people to trade with so that you don't have to have such a frustrating time of it, then I think that would be a popular addition to the game. It doesn't have to be like the Grand Exchange was before, as we've mentioned. Okay, Rapology wants to know if we're going to add elite clues with different rewards. We may not be able to do the interface puzzle clues, but we could certainly have you going around scanning for things. I think that could be fun.
I wouldn't want to do a puzzle clue either.
No.
I don't like doing
I
any
struggle
clues.
with solving them, let me try to make one.
Interface jobs are quite slow, and I think there was some fairly advanced interface programming gone into those puzzle things before. And while we can copy code from the other RuneScape, their engine is still quite different from ours, and it may not be transferable, not that bit anyway.
Slay Clan was asking about auto-rejoin clan chats. That's on our list of engine requests, which we're starting to slowly get support for. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can have it soon.
Yes, we'd really like that. Okay. And your boy Snake says, what about podding the Grand Exchange? I think we've been there, mate. If you'd like to watch the stream again from the beginning when it finishes, perhaps you'll see the answer.
Someone says
Or
quick
any other
chats.
stream.
No quick chat, no. I don't see any value in that, and
It's making those menus is a lot of interface work for us, and making the infrastructure to send the messages behind it is a lot of work for the game engine team. Now, of all the things we could get from the game engine team, I'm not going to put quick chat at the top of the priority list, like not ever. Even if we'd got JAG and auto rejoin chat channel and something that'll help us convert models from the other RuneScape so we can have the features in this game, and a gazillion other things we'd like, I think quick chat would be still quite a long way down the list. I'm sorry. Okay.
there was a question I wanted to say, but it's gone off the list. So I
Well,
can't
Sweet
remember what it was.
Badass has one about Revenant Caves. We could put some ghosts in a cave in the wilderness. However, I think that may not be quite what you're looking for. You might want those to be ghosts that drop amazing items you can't get anywhere else, including, what do we put? Brawler gloves, statuettes, Vestas, Morrigans, all that stuff. I think if we put those into the game again, there might be other places that should unlock things like that. It's been suggested we could do them from PvP Worlds, like we did back in the earliest days of PvP Worlds in 2009, I think. I'm not sure putting them on monster drop tables would really add anything new to the game. But if that's something you want, and lots of you want, then by all means say so, please. But for the moment, Revenant Caves is not something I'm looking to do, because there's, well, it's more about the drops. And until we've got a clear sense of what the community as a whole would like the things to drop, putting the cave there with the ghosts in would be a bit redundant.
GF or G Fire says any ETA on the new Slayer dungeon / cave. Now, we've stood up today on our whiteboard and we've drawn a very, very bad map of the current dungeon and where we'd like it to go and how we'd like it to extend, how we'd like it to path. We've also written a list of all the monsters we want to see inside the cave, ranging from things like Ankus being everywhere, to cow fights, to greater demons, to abyssal demons and whatnot. Also, which areas we'd like to be multi, which areas like to be single, to combat people camping, things like abyssal demons with cannons. We're going to start work on that probably tomorrow and next week onwards. More news to come, more screenshots to come, I guess, which you can see us posting up on Twitter and Reddit. So
yes, we'd like to tweet what we're working on.
yeah, it's quite handy being able to almost effectively leak your updates, which you know everything about them already.
Yes, and we've polled it.
Yeah.
I missed the name, sorry, but someone was asking about high-risk PvP worlds, and do you want to take this one, Ash?
Yes, we'd like to deliver them in the next update. Well, I say them. There's 2 PvP worlds. We'd like to make one of them high risk in the next update. You voted for that in poll 13, I think it was, where we offered to make one of the PvP worlds high risk and also one of the other worlds high risk, so that the wilderness had a high risk option as well. We hope to release both of those next week.
Give Me Pen Test says, are you adding a coin pouch? If we are, there are certain things about this coin pouch that I would not make that you probably know about in the RS3 version. Do we have any limitations on a coin pouch?
We'd have to rewrite every piece of code that deals with coins.
That's a lot of...
And we'd have to do it carefully, because apparently if you don't do it carefully, you get inconvenient side effects.
Yes.
Plus the
or
bank
convenient side effects.
Well, yes. Also, I'd have to rewrite the bank pin slightly, because tying that into features at the moment is quite fiddly, and it would really muck up the syntax if we were trying to tie it into the coin pouch, which has to be tied into every other script. So we'd first need to rewrite the bank pin. Of course, that wouldn't be a bad idea, because when I did that, the buttons became a lot less laggy to click on. I think that might be a popular change if we could do it again. We've got most of the engine features I used to do it last time.
So as an answer to that one, I wouldn't hold your breath for a coin pouch.
Now, a player called Pig Something, I'm not saying that, wants us to do a lobby system to join World 1 as it is always full. We did actually poll a kind of world queue system a long time ago, so that if you were trying to get into a full world, it would just put you in a queue and let you in automatically when you reach the front of the queue. And that didn't pass. Turns out there's quite a few people who just don't like that idea. Some of them said that they could get in more quickly by spamming the login button, and they could therefore do better than they would do if there was a queue and they had to wait fairly with everyone else. So I'm afraid the community's voted against that one.
Emily_II says, please fix the armor helm on females. I don't know what's wrong with it, so if you want to just
It looks
follow
like
up
a
with the
granite
comment.
helm.
It looks like a granite helm.
Yeah, I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, if there's something we can change, we will. If there's something we have to wait for our artist to look at, then we'll do that instead.
In which case, yeah, we'll have a look at that one then.
Amena has some advice for Emily, changing to a guy. Let's assume Emily doesn't want to do that.
I do not look angry, I swear. I'll just have to squint at the screen on the left. Because
There are
there's
some very bright lights around.
ridiculously bright.
Could you improve the attacks? Oh, Chickens says, can you improve the attack speed of javelins so they are a viable... I'm waiting for Matt to scroll sideways very quickly. Viable... Before it goes off screen? Viable weapon, and that's all I saw before it went off screen. Do many people use javelins? I thought it's always knives or...
Probably because they're not a viable weapon.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's true, actually. We can have a look at doing so, I guess.
If you want that.
I could rework
I
them.
haven't seen anybody use javelins for a very long time, but I guess that probably explains why. Yeah, sure, definitely.
Disav is wanting us to clarify, could corrupt weapons have a possibility of being added? The answer is, we could do it. We may not be able to make them look just like they did before, but we could make them work pretty much how they did before, if you wanted it. Now, we talked about them before when we wrote the PvP World blog, and a lot of people said, no, don't even poll it, don't do it, we don't want it at all. So we didn't poll it, we've never polled those items. If we thought that everyone had changed their minds and now did want those items, we'd be very happy to reopen the question. And we'd also like you to clarify where you'd like them to come from as well, whether it be PvP Worlds or Revenants in a cave or something else entirely. So let us know how you feel. For the moment, I think there might still be a strong sense that they're overpowered, but we'd like to hear what you've got to say on the matter.
I'm seeing a lot of comments for a max cape. Given that there's only 3 people that have maxed right now, and there'll only be another 3 in the next 4 months, let it go.
Well, I wouldn't say so much let it go. I mean, it could be a very good way of getting people to strive towards maxing, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'd like one as well, but
Although I think the problem with that would be we couldn't, at the moment, right now as it is, as everything stands as we are, we couldn't give you anything which looked fantastic or had a very good emote. In fact, we probably couldn't give you a new emote at all. So when we're in a position to start being a bit more creative and giving you newer things like that, we can definitely look at things like the Max Cape, and then John here can be happy.
that's a better answer.
So one question that's been coming up quite often, and it's a very topical one, is those new orbs by the minimap. How about we click them and do stuff? And yeah, we can poll that. In fact, I think we'll put it on the next poll. The reason we didn't do it yet is in the last poll where we wrote about them and offered them, we specified they're just going to be for information for the moment, and we'll come back and ask you when you've got them whether you'd like them upgraded to start doing things. Reason being, those orbs are quite a change to the old school feel of the game, and it's controversial to have them at all for some people. That's why there's the toggle option, so you can hide them if you really don't want to see them. That's quite a purist approach, but we respect that. If we start making them do stuff, that's a bigger departure from how the old school game has been. We can do it if that's something the community's really behind. We'll poll them separately so that you can choose whether or not you want the run button to be a run button without also having to get quick prayers in the same question. But yeah, we're going to poll those, and if they pass, we'll try and have a go at doing it.
Tom XXX20, who's not on screen right now, says, "Can we get lodestones?" As of the minigame group finder update, there was a lot of backlash about the teleport option acting as lodestones or the cooldown not being long enough. I think that feedback is enough for us to say that lodestones would not be worth it. If people are very against quick teleports, things like barrows every 20 minutes, or even the Nightmare Zone, which bypasses the need to even have Watchtower completed, I think lodestones would definitely fail a poll after that.
And in the next poll, we're going to offer a change to the cooldown on the minigame teleports as well. Now, man